And welcome back, rugby fans, to Rugby411. As always, I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and this is our Week 7 of the 2025 MLR season preview and pick'ems by yours truly, Rugby411. Once again, we have 5 games, all 5 games of the weekend on Saturday, so it is a rugby-filled Saturday. Unfortunately, all the games kind of bunched a little bit together, so you won't be able to watch any of the games completely without running into or skipping a game. But as always, you can watch all the games live or on demand on ESPN Plus if you are in the United States. Internationally, you can watch them all live or on demand on the Rugby Network. Absolutely free app. Of course, if you don't want to pay for ESPN Plus, you can always wait 72 hours later and the games will be on demand on the Rugby Network. Some very, very interesting games coming up this weekend. So let's start. Again, everything starts on Saturday, March 29th, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. It's Old Glory DC coming over to LA at the Wallace Annenberg Stadium on the campus of UCLA to take on RFCLA. Now, interestingly enough, this game was originally supposed to be a night game, but it was moved up. I think maybe to accommodate the Old Glory DC fans, East Coast fans, where they don't have to watch the game at 10 o'clock at night, because originally the game was going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I also feel because it is shockingly cold right now in LA, and it's going to be really, really cold at 7 p.m. So I'm very glad for being as someone who's going to be working the game. I'm going to be glad that we're going to be there a little early so we don't have to fight with the cold. But again, if you're in the LA area, come on out. Last game was our biggest attended game, nearly filled up the 2,500-seater Wallace Annenberg Stadium. It is a fun time, and it's going to be a great game for this one. Technically, if you are a UCLA or USC alum, right before this game, USC and UCLA rugby teams will be facing off against each other right before this game. So kind of a cool little preseasoner before the Major League Rugby game. But let's go over this game. Old Glory and RFCLA have only played once. That was last year, and that was a very rare draw. In that game, RFCLA had the opportunity to win, but man, I believe we had like 2 yellow cards and a red card in the last 20 minutes of the game, so we were down like 3 men. Fortunately, we were able to somehow come back and tie the game, so we were actually down. But it was a very close one. Old Glory, of course, just coming off beating New England pretty handedly. LA coming off a very good win over NOLA. I feel, because again, the travel, East Coast to West Coast, it does affect things. I feel very confident RCLA is finding their groove. Old Glory is no pushover, but I really do feel LA has the ability to come up strong, especially in front of our growing LA crowd. Now, the next game, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at the Gold Mine. Once again, NOLA Gold hosting their opponent, the Chicago Hounds. Both of these teams have been, even in their rivalry, 2 wins apiece. Now, the interesting facts are this. All of these games, the home team, all these games, the away team has won. Chicago and NOLA, whenever they play, whoever is the home team, they have never won in the 4 times that they have played each other. Also, too, Chicago coming off of a bye. So far this season, teams that are coming off of byes are not winning their very next game. So, the dilemma is this. The home team never wins, but Chicago is coming off of a bye. Now, with that all being said, NOLA is on a 4-game losing streak. Chicago is looking very, very strong this season. I'm going to go against one of the facts, and I will say that despite the bye, Chicago will be continuing the streak of away teams winning, and NOLA, unfortunately, will suffer their 5th game loss in a row. Now, the very next game, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a huge Western Conference showdown between two teams that have had a phenomenal season so far: the undefeated San Diego Legion and the only one loss Houston, which they lost at the very beginning of the season. They are on a winning streak of their own. So, this is going to be the 11th time that these two Western Conference teams have faced off against each other. San Diego has won 6, Houston has won 4. This is I'm sorry, I'm just reading some notes here. The last time that Houston has won was when they're at home last season. Houston won 33-0. In this game, Houston has looked very, very strong whenever they played against San Diego. So I gotta say, the home team sometimes has the advantage in this one. Like I said last season, Houston did win 33-0. This is going to be a tough one to pick. Again, San Diego is looking like a well-oiled machine. They haven't lost a game yet. I know most people are going to pick San Diego with this one. I'm going to say the upset is, this is maybe not even a big upset, but I'm going to say Houston wins this one, giving San Diego their very first loss of the season. And let's go over the last two games of the slate. Both of them starting 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have Anthem Rugby Carolina going over to Starfire Stadium to take on the Seattle Seawolves, traveling all across the country. Again, as I mentioned in my power ranking videos, even though Seattle has been struggling, they're 1-4, looked pretty bad against Utah in their loss. And even though Anthem came so close to beating Houston, and I swear, Anthem's going to win a game. It's just not going to be this one. I still feel this is going to be what we call the get-right game, and Seattle will win this one. Now, that being said, as I mentioned in the power ranking video, if Seattle loses this game, man, this is when you have that panic button moment. You're going to have to really start panicking if you're a Seattle fan, because something is wrong in Seattle. But I believe Seattle will beat Anthem in this game. And then we have the reigning, defending, two-time MLR champions, New England Free Jacks, who also, like Seattle, is struggling quite a bit. 2-3 is their record. First time in a long time you've ever seen New England with a losing record, going against a very hot Utah team. 4 wins with just 1 loss. This is the opposite of the Chicago NOLA game. The Chicago NOLA game, the home team has never won a game in their rivalry. In this rivalry, this will be the 6th time that these two teams have played against each other, the home team has won every game. New England has won 3, Utah has won 2. 2 years ago, when Utah hosted New England Free Jacks, Utah won by just 2 points. As much as I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to think New England, this will be their get-right game, there is definitely something wrong with New England as well. They're having some issue just like Seattle, and I really do feel Utah continues the streak, and Utah gets their win at home at Zion Stadium. Again, if I'm a New England fan, I would probably start panicking if they do lose to Utah this week as well. So those are my pick'ems and preview of Week 7. Again, you can watch all the games live or on demand on ESPN Plus. If you are internationally, you can watch it live on the Rugby Network. If you don't want to pay the pretty small price for ESPN Plus, you can check out all the games 72-hour on tape delay in the United States on the Rugby Network. Again, thank you very much for checking out my videos, and I'll see you on the pitch.